This is just a short video to acquaint you with the environment or the context of Insight Maker. Not to show you how to develop a model, more just to give you a sense of what to expect if you haven't been here before. If you don't already have an Insight Maker account, the first time that you go to insightmaker.com, you can either click on sign up for free or create a new account. Either one of them will take you to the same place. You go through here and you fill out, you choose a username that you'd like, which you'll be assigned if it's not already used, your email address, choose a password, tell it to remember you, and put in your full name, accept the terms and conditions, answer the CAPTCHA, and tell it to create you a new account. As a result of doing this, Insight Maker will email you a confirmation that you then need to click on to activate your account. It does that just to make sure that it's got a connection with a valid email address. If you don't get it shortly, look in your spam folder. Some people have said that it ends up there from time to time. Others have said that the confirmation email has never showed up and they've gone back to Insight Maker and their account seems to have worked fine. So sort of might be one of several options. But once you create your account, when you go to the initial page, on this page there's a bit of information about how to go about creating the steps associated with creating a model, a methodology, a number of options that I'll talk about in a minute. But go ahead and put in your username and password, tell it to remember you, and click login. This is the context it will take you to if you have a username and password and you have told it to remember you. Once you create a number of models or insights, over here on the right hand side there will be a panel which will list all the models that you have created in order of the most recently changed to the oldest ones. So if you change something that's further down on the list, the next time you look it'll be at the top of the list. There's also a note about the webinars that are starting this month, a number of models that we provided for you to interact with, just as something to get familiar with. We've also started doing a newsletter. We put one out about the middle of every 2 months, so the next one is due right at the end of March, the beginning of April. And we also do a running set of updates, so that updates to Insight Maker aren't usually done in major releases. They're done sort of function by function or feature by feature, and every time there's a new one we update the Insight Maker updates page, which you can go to. There's also a recently updated segment down here at the bottom, which is a reverse running view of things that other people are working on within Insight Maker, so that these things were just changed recently on the 18th. It will go back 7 days. If you page through it from page to page, the further you go, the older they are, but the most recent things that people have worked on are in fact at the top of this list. There's also a place for donations. There is an associated book available. It's an e-reader available from Amazon in Kindle format that talks about building models and all of the features and functions associated with Insight Maker. On this bar you can go ahead, you can look at help, which covers practically every, well, it covers every function within Insight Maker to a certain depth, so that if you have a question you can refer to help. You can also search for models that have been created by others. Or you can go here and search for or look at categories that people have created and put their models in, and you can search in categories. Or you can also go and look at groups that have been created. You can join groups if there are certain kinds of models that you're interested in, and it will send you mail messages when there are changes and new models put in certain types of groups that you've said that you're interested in. But the most interesting part of this environment is the Make an Insight environment, which is the environment where you actually go to create a model. In this environment, there are a set of primitives that you use to construct a model, connections that you use to connect between the primitives, a set of typical Windows actions for cut, copy, paste, and delete. Now, because this is in a web browser environment as opposed to a desktop application, sometimes this behaves slightly differently in different browsers. You will find certain things in IE that you won't find in Firefox, or certain things you find in Chrome that you won't find in IE. Not that they're drastically different, just slightly different. Sometimes these actions work from the keyboard and sometimes they don't. If it doesn't work from the keyboard, they always work by clicking on the buttons here. For certain aspects of the components that you use to build models, you can change the color of the text or the color of the lines or the background fill, bold, italic, and underlined. You can do font styling. When you build a model, you need to set up the simulation time settings in terms of when it starts and how long it is and the type of time duration that you want. There's also a scratch pad that allows you, this works much better with a pen tablet, but you can actually draw on top of a model. It works very good if you're explaining models to other people over the web, some screen sharing environment. You can download a model to save a copy of it, or you can embed a model inside of a web page or a wiki page or a blog. You can save the model that you create, and once you tell it to save it, every time you make a change to it, it will automatically save it. And then once you finish, you can run the simulation. Now in this canvas that you're presented with, we've provided you with a sample model just so when you get here you're not looking at a blank page. This is just a sample model about rabbit population growth, where there is a stock of rabbits. There are births dependent upon a birth rate, and when you run this model, it gives you a particular view of how that rabbit population develops over a period of 20 years. When you actually get ready to create, and this has not been saved, but when you get ready to create your own model, all you have to do is click here and say clear sample, and it will give you a blank screen to work with. Also on the screen, this first link will take you to the help documentation. It takes you to the same place that this button does. And there is also a free online course that walks you through from the equivalent of 1 + 1 = 2 for developing a simulation, or developing a model within Insight Maker, and running it, and all of the functions within Insight Maker. So that's what that other link in this environment will take you to. And if you have any questions about Insight Maker while you're using it, every page has a feedback button on the bottom of it. If you just click that, it will take you to Get Satisfaction, which is a service facility that allows you to provide ideas or questions or identify problems in the environment while you're working on it. And someone will get back to you within a couple hours in terms of the question or the problem that you've identified. One of us are usually watching this environment to see if something's happening. So that's sort of what you have to work with within Insight Maker. Is a free multi-user web-based modeling and simulation package that's capable of doing quite a few different types of drawings in addition to stock and flow simulation models. And in the videos associated with this, we'll cover all of the various features, functions, and options that we're aware of to sort of give you a leg up on creating models and developing your own insights. So stay tuned. Bye.